Part 9, Overcoming Fear. She remembered Mrs. Thompson's encouraging words. Mistakes are just stepping stones to success. She could do this. She had to believe in herself. The first scene began. Emily waited for her cue. Her hands were trembling, but she clenched them into fists, grounding herself. She could hear the other actors delivering their lines. The audience reacting with laughter and applause. Then, it was her turn. She stepped onto the stage, the bright lights momentarily blinding her. She felt the eyes of the audience on her. Every face expectant, Emily opened her mouth to speak. And for a split second, her mind went blank. Panic gripped her. But then she heard a familiar voice in her mind, Mrs. Thompson's voice. "Take a deep breath, Emily. You know this. Just speak from the heart." She took another breath, her fear melting away. Replaced by a calm determination, she began her lines. Focusing on every word. Every sound, every emotion. She moved with purpose, her voice clear and confident. The words flowed effortlessly, her pronunciation crisp and precise. She could see her classmates' faces in the audience. Not mocking her, but listening. Captivated by her performance. Emily felt a rush of adrenaline. A newfound confidence surging through her veins. As the play continued, Emily found herself enjoying every moment. She was no longer worried about making mistakes or what others might think. She was lost in the character, in the story. Her hard work was paying off. And she felt a sense of freedom she had never experienced before. Part 10, Triumph and Applause. The final scene came. And Emily delivered her closing monologue with passion and grace. Her voice filled the auditorium, her words resonating with the audience. When she finished, there was a moment of silence. A brief pause as the weight of her performance hung in the air. Then, the audience erupted into applause. The sound was deafening. A roaring wave of appreciation and admiration. Emily's heart soared. She felt tears welling up in her eyes, but this time they were tears of joy. She looked out into the audience and saw her parents standing, clapping with tears in their eyes. Mrs. Thompson was beaming, her hands together in applause. Emily felt a warmth spread through her chest. A sense of pride and accomplishment like never before. As the curtain fell, her fellow cast members surrounded her, hugging her and congratulating her. "Emily, you were amazing," Mia exclaimed, her eyes wide with admiration. "I didn't know you had it in you." "Thanks, Mia," Emily said, smiling. "I couldn't have done it without Mrs. Thompson and all the practice." Mrs. Thompson came backstage, her face glowing with pride. "Emily, you were incredible. I knew you could do it," she said, pulling her into a warm embrace. "Thank you, Mrs. Thompson," Emily whispered, her voice choked with emotion. "Thank you for believing in me.